In the next few minutes, you're going to unlock a form of masculine power that 99% of men never tap into. Not charm. Not wit. Not rehearsed lines or phony swagger. But the invisible force that subtly shapes how people respond to you, shifts the balance of control without force, and quietly programs obsession into the female nervous system, before you even speak. While most men over-explain, overshare, and over-pursue like desperate salesmen trying to close the deal, you'll learn a far more effective strategy: calibrated silence, surgical intention, and emotionally regulated control. This isn't about being loud. It's about being undeniable. So if you're ready to become the man she can't decode, but can't stop thinking about, like this video, and let's go deep. Brain: why do some men walk into a room and instantly take control? Why do some men shift the atmosphere when they enter, while others vanish into the background, silently screaming for approval but never being seen? It's not their outfit. It's not their smile. It's not even their words. It's psychological leverage. Power isn't given to you. It isn't earned with good behavior. It's felt, before anything is said. And those who understand this become magnetic. Let's break down the 10 psychological tactics that will turn you into the man she can't forget, even if she tries. 1. Destroy the submissive script. Your first mission is to kill the invisible script running your behavior. If I'm nice enough, she'll want me. This is the lie that turns men into approval-seeking shells. He apologizes before he speaks. He softens his opinions. He agrees just to avoid tension. And worst of all, he hands over his masculinity in exchange for maybe being liked. Women are biologically programmed to test for strength. And neediness, no matter how politely it's packaged, sets off alarms in her nervous system. Instead, speak less, but say more. Pause intentionally before replying. Own your silence. Own your opinions. Own your space. Remember, you're not applying for her affection. You're interviewing her for a position in your life. 2. Trigger her primal radar. She's not evaluating you with logic. She's scanning you with something deeper, a primal radar passed down through generations. She's asking, can he protect me? Can I trust him to stay calm under pressure? Is he a boy playing pretend, or a man anchored in truth? You don't answer those questions with words. You answer them with presence. That means calm tone, controlled breathing, emotional consistency. You can't talk your way into primal attraction. You must emit it. She wants a man whose vibe feels like protection and unpredictability at the same time. Not a man who needs her to reassure him he's enough. 3. Master nonverbal dominance. Your body always speaks. And it speaks louder than your words ever will. When you enter a room, do you shrink into the corners, or do you own your space like a king returning to his castle? Powerful cues include posture: back straight, chest open, shoulders relaxed. Movement: slow and deliberate. Men who aren't rushed communicate internal control. Eye contact: not aggressive, not passive, sovereign. Here's the move most men never learn. If she disrespects you, don't explain. Don't argue. Don't react. Withdraw. The silent exit is louder than any emotional reaction. It tells her, I'm not emotionally accessible to disrespect. And that's psychological gold. 4. Speak the language of polarization. The moment you try to be liked by everyone, you become forgettable to all. The strongest men don't try to win over women. They express themselves unfiltered, and let those who resonate stay, and those who don't, leave. Women obsess over emotionally intense men. Not men who seek approval. Ways to polarize without being toxic. Disagree with poise: I don't see it that way. Tease her ideas playfully: you really believe that, huh? Dangerous woman. Say no without over-explaining, "That's not really my thing." Let her feel your contrast. You weren't made to blend in, you were made to be unforgettable. 5. Inject strategic silence into conversation. The most dominant man in the room isn't the one talking the most. It's the one most comfortable with silence. Why? Because silence creates tension. And tension is the breeding ground of attraction. Start practicing. After you say something real, pause. When she tries to provoke, pause. When she fills the space with nervous chatter, pause. This communicates. I don't chase validation. I let the moment come to me. And in her nervous system, that registers as strength. 6. Use the 50/30/20 conversational formula. This is how you turn simple conversations into emotional addiction. Fire 50% targeted curiosity. Ask questions that bypass surface-level small talk and target the soul. What's a secret ambition you've never said out loud? What's a decision you made that changed everything? Smiling face with horns 30% playful chaos. Be unexpected. Playful. Free. Humor destroys resistance faster than logic. What would I find if I read your last 3 text messages? You've got that villain energy, I respect that. Sunglasses 20% calculated mystery. Mystery isn't lying. It's selective revelation. Barcelona was wild, maybe I'll tell you the story someday. You ask a lot of dangerous questions. I like that. Mystery keeps her mind spinning. And the human brain obsesses over what it can't fully access. 7. Display selective availability. Being too available is the fastest way to kill sexual tension. Men who drop everything the moment she texts. Men who respond instantly. Men who always say yes. Are men who reveal their priorities too quickly. Instead, delay responses without apology. Be present when you're with her, but disappear when you're not. Say no to last-minute plans. This signals, my time is sacred. If you're in it, it's a privilege. And nothing triggers desire like selective scarcity. 8. Control your emotional weather. The man who can't control his emotions is seen as unstable, even if he means well. But the man who remains calm, centered, and unshaken, even when provoked, is seen as safe, powerful, and deeply masculine. What to avoid? Emotional outbursts. Overreacting to her tests. Needing to prove yourself. Instead, anchor yourself in stillness when she's emotional. Silence when she tests you. Warm dominance when she gets insecure. Her storms are not your invitation to lose control. They're your chance to demonstrate leadership. 9. Use implied status over bragging. Real power never has to advertise. Insecure men brag. Grounded men let their presence and subtle cues do the talking. Here's how to imply high value. I was in Madrid for a thing. Long story. No explanation needed. Mention high-level experiences in passing, then pivot. Let others talk about you, don't talk about yourself. This makes her curious. It gives her mental space to create a fantasy version of your life, which is always more intoxicating than the real one. 10. Build a frame she enters, not the other way around. Most men subconsciously submit to the woman's world, adjusting their tone, their beliefs, and their emotions to match hers. But the high-value man lives in a frame so strong, she either joins, or she fades. Here's how. When she's emotional, you don't mirror it. You calm it. When she tests you, you don't collapse. You hold. When she's unsure, you don't chase. You lead. You are the anchor. She is the ocean. She wants to test your frame, because she wants to trust it. Pass that test, and she'll follow you into emotional depths you can't imagine. Crossed swords conclusion, knowing isn't power. Execution is. You now hold the blueprint. The 10 psychological tactics that unlock silent dominance, emotional control, strategic scarcity, magnetic presence, masculine mystery. But understand this. Power isn't in knowing. Power is in application. So the next time you enter a room, a date, or a conversation, don't try to be impressive. Be present. Be unmoved. Be unavailable to low-frequency energy. And watch how the world, and women, begin to orbit you. Like the video if this sharpened your edge. Comment which tactic you're mastering first. Subscribe for weekly insights that strip away the lies and give you unfiltered masculine strategy. This isn't manipulation. It's clarity. Because when you understand how the game is really played, you stop being a pawn, and become the player. Welcome to the League of Invisible Influence. Now move like a man who knows.